Tuesday Talk, where we're talking everything to do with designing and developing and delivering a superb learning experience, where we talk about how we can get the knowledge out of your head, how we can transform that expertise into a profitable and scalable online course so you can live the lifestyle that you desire. I'm Matthew Mason for Superb Learning, and this week's Tuesday Talk, we're going to talk about why you need an ecosystem of learning products as part of your suite of offering. So why? Why do we need it? Okay. So the reality is that delivering your educational content online is the key to having a profitable and scalable business. By putting educational content online, it's going to free up a lot of your time. There's so much information that people have got in their head that they could put into digital format that would save them so much time because they're not having to constantly repeat themselves and not having to constantly go over things. And by putting that educational content online, then you're able to deliver it to more people, and that is going to allow you to scale and obviously allow you to create greater profits. And if you haven't heard me before, the knowledge in your head is invaluable but intangible. Okay, it's invaluable but it's intangible. Okay, no one can touch it if it's stuck in your head. No one can get access to it, or the only way they can get access to it is if you actually sit down and get it out of your head. And that's probably only going to happen if they're actually having a one-on-one conversation, which does not allow you to scale. The other option is to actually get it out of your head into a digital format, and that way it's then going to be not only valuable, but it's also going to be very tangible. And so that's the thing. So you need to look at how you can actually get that knowledge out of your head. And one of the best ways of doing that is to create this ecosystem of learning products. So it's a process, and you'll notice a bit of a funnel, and you might look at that and going, oh, this is a bit like a sales funnel or a marketing funnel. Well, yeah, it is, because it's the same concept. It's this concept of putting people through a process where you're going to reach out to a wide audience. They might be your target market, but they might not necessarily be the people that are ready to engage with you now, but you still want to generate interest for them. You want to provide information for them, want to look at how you can provide implementation and integration. It's really important to look at all of those pieces and having that ecosystem that delivers on all of those four key pieces. When you talk about creating, I suppose, $1 million product, and I'm using $1 million product because, that seems to be the magic number when you talk to people and go, oh, how much do you want to make? I want to make $1 million, So having that $1 million product. But the reality is that, if you go, okay, you want to create $1 million product, and you want to do that by offering a low ticket offer that, say, using $20 as an example, well, you've got to create 50,000 sales. That's a lot of sales. That's a lot of people you've got to get in front of. If you think about your low ticket offer, if you're converting 10% of the people that you're getting in front of, which is a good conversion rate, you still got to get in front of 50,000, 500,000 people. If your conversion rate's only 1%, you got to get in front of 5 million people. That's a lot of stuff. So it really is going to be a struggle to try and get that $1 million product through a low ticket offer. Obviously, it's going to be a bit easier with a medium ticket offer. You're looking at $2,000, for a product. It's easier. Again, though, if you're looking at, the amount of people you want to get in front of, you're only getting in front of, if you're only converting sort of 1%, then that's still going to be 50,000 people that you've got to try and get in front of. Okay, that's probably a lot easier to get in front of 50,000 people than trying to get 50,000 sales. But it's still quite a lot of people that you've got to try and get in front of. Just depends, again, on what your conversion rates are. Okay, you might go with a high ticket offer. Okay, and obviously you can see there, high ticket offer, selling something for 10,000, or maybe it's even more, but just using 10,000 as a metric for today to make the calculations easy. Well, you've only got to sell 100 sales. And again, depending on, your conversion rates, high ticket offer. Maybe it's, if you're lucky enough and it is 1%, then you've got to get in front of 10,000 people. So really different things. But obviously, to try and get in front of all those people and looking at that, you go, okay, well, yeah, the high ticket offer is probably the best way to go, and it's probably the easiest way to reach that $1 million product. But just having a high ticket offer, you're going to have this gap in between. And one of the things is that people, for them to want to work with you, they really need to know, like, and trust you. And to jump straight to a high ticket offer and without anything else as part of that process is going to be a little bit difficult. So you need to think about, well, how can we do that in a way that makes it easier for people? How do we make it easy for people to know, like, and trust us? And the best way of that is to look at creating this ecosystem of products. Creating an ecosystem of products and starting off with interest products. Okay, these are the products that are informational. They're out there providing information to those people who maybe are problem aware, looking for a solution, or they become solution aware when they come across your content. Generally, it's free content, it's highly leveraged, and it's automated. Okay? So looking at what is that interest products that you can create. And this is obviously going to help people to start that evolution of them knowing, liking, and trusting you. Okay, it's going to be much easier if they've already engaged with some of your interest content, if you're looking at doing that. So it might be, providing an ebook. It might be an email sequence. You might write hey, sign up. I've got a problem you can solve, and here it is. And here's my, 5-day email sequence. Or maybe it's a video that you're providing some content, or maybe you've created a scorecard which people can jump on and they can sort of do a bit of a diagnostic on where they are, and you can give them some feedback as well. So there's a whole range of different interest products you can provide. But the key thing, I suppose, if we go back to here, is it's providing information. It's free. Okay, so you're probably not going to put a huge amount of time into the creation of it. It's highly leveraged, so you're trying to get this across to a large amount of people, and again, it's automated. So thinking about what those interest products are. Okay, the other thing as well is when you're looking at these products, then the other factor is as you are higher in the funnel, higher in the ecosystem, the leverage is going to be higher. Your time that you're being involved is also going to be lower. And as a result, the cost that is going to be involved, or the cost for someone to consume that content, is also going to be lower. So we can certainly look at creating some interest products to generate interest in your brand, in your message, in your product. We can then look at the information products. Okay, and these are, again, funny enough, by the name, they're informational. Okay, so this is where we actually are providing people with knowledge. So this can be, it's relatively low cost. It could be highly leveraged and, again, automated. So very similar to the interest products. There's probably a little bit more flesh on the bones, though, when you look at creating an information product. Okay, and this, again, the information products can scale quite significantly depending on the amount of information that you're providing. So when we look at the funnel here, it's probably not evenly weighted in its size. You probably find that information product piece probably should actually be much larger wedge of the funnel there, because you could have something that's very small informational product that you can deliver, but then you might have a larger information product. But generally, the key thing here is, yes, we're providing information. We are providing people with the knowledge on, okay, we've got a specific problem, right? And then we provide some knowledge around how to deal with that problem. This is the solution. We've got people with certain pains, and we're building a painkiller solution, and this is the knowledge they need to know to solve those pains. Okay, it's not about providing the skills to do it. It's all about just accessing that information and providing that information that's in there. And so what we're looking at here is we can look at, it could be a mini course. I mean, it could be a bigger course as well. If you're sort of sitting at the top end of that information funnel, and you want to go with something relatively low cost, it could be a mini course. It could be a full online course as well that is going to take people a lot longer to consume, but it is going to be self-paced. Okay, it's probably going to be something that people are going to be going through because all that you're doing is providing information. Could be a next day challenge, a 5-day, a 6-day, a 4-day, a 9-day challenge, whatever that might be. Okay, could be a webinar. So these are just some of the things that you could have at the top edge of that information funnel that are quite easy for people to consume. As you move down in those information products, as I said before, you can look at going, okay, do we build a bigger self-paced online course that people can consume? But that's going to be providing that information for them. Okay. Then the next step is then looking at, well, what are the implementation products? Okay. And this is really probably the sweet spot that so many coaches and consultants want to sit in. This is where you get to be a little bit more personal. Okay. And you're actually starting to provide transformation. Okay. Previously, the interest in information products were really focused on just giving that informational piece. Here, we actually are going to help people to change. We're actually going to start working with them and going, okay, not only do you have the knowledge, but we're now going to start helping you out with developing the skills. So as a result of this is probably going to be higher cost. It's probably going to take more of your time. It's because of that, it's going to be less leverage. You can't leverage it as much. It's not an online course that you can just share out to everyone. There's got to be some component there where it's actually going to require a physical person, whether that's you or whether that's someone that you've coached to deliver the training. It still is going to have a certain amount of or a lack of leverage as part of that process. And then also it's going to be potentially, it could be a combination of things that are automatic and personal. Okay, so we could be looking at an online course, and that online course could be sitting there as part of your informational product, but you can also have the online course as part of your implementation product. But what you're doing is you're just tapping onto that some live calls. So tapping live calls into it to support people and to answer the questions that they're having and giving them some more skills and knowledge around what they can do with that information, how they can actually implement it, how they can actually change and transform. It could be a coaching program, it could be a workshop, it could be a masterclass. Basically, anything that you think about where you are there providing an opportunity to help people to change, to help them to transform. Okay, so that's where we're looking at that implementation products. Then we want to get into the other piece in the ecosystem is then your integration products. So this is really coming back to the transformational piece. And this is, ideally your premium product. You're probably working with the person one-on-one and really helping them with some really substantial change, transformation. They're not only learning about the skills that they're getting or the knowledge that they're getting through the information products, not just the skills that they're getting through the implementation product, but how do we actually take people and build them up to a level of mastery through these integration products. Okay, again, minimum leverage, going to require a fair bit of people's time to do that, and highly personal. So as I said, it's probably going to be more one-to-one, whereas your implementation products could probably be more of a group coaching program. Oops. So yeah, so obviously your integration products again could be the more of, as I said, the one-on-one program. So that's it. So there's your 4 key things as part of the funnel, the ecosystem that you want to look at. You want to look at how do you have interest products and move people from those interest products into the information products. How you move them from those information products into the implementation products, and then how do you take them from the implementation to the integration. Okay. And we talked before about that $1 million product and looking at those numbers. But if you actually filter that down, and you might go, okay, right, well, we're talking about how we needed, like got to think now, what was it? 500 or 100 people in a high ticket offer, which would be the integration program. Well, potentially, if we've actually got a number of people coming through and doing our implementation program, well, that's going to generate a lot of income as well. If we've got people coming through and consuming our information products, that's going to generate some income as well. So then those figures that you're looking at, and using the $1 million product as a benchmark, may not necessarily be as high, because you're actually going to be creating an income stream at all three of those pieces. Certainly interest products, generating the leads, generating the interest in your product, your brand, and your message. And then the information, implementation, and integration. So yeah, so that's effectively the keys around the four pieces of that ecosystem of learning products that you need to have. And it's a matter of really looking at what are all of those going to be, and creating those pieces and creating that sequence that people can flow from one to the next. So that's the importance of having that ecosystem. Okay, if you've just got your integration product or you've just got an implementation product, well, you're missing a gap above. Okay, you're missing, that interest in information products, those highly leveraged products that can run, automated, saving you time and effort, and you're potentially going to be missing them. Okay, if you're just delivering those highly leveraged interest in information products and not focusing on anything around the implementation or integration, well, you're probably missing out on a large part of the market. At some point, you're going to get people, they're going to have the skill, they're going to develop the knowledge, they're going to want to have the skills as well. And if you're not offering that as part of your ecosystem of products, then you're going to lose a lot of people out the bottom of your funnel, because you've got nothing there for them, no program for them. So have a think about all of those things when you're looking at creating that ecosystem of products. When you're actually unpacking that knowledge out of your head, looking at how does this fit, and putting that into that process. And that's one of the things that we do when we take people through our process, and we take them through the Think Wrap system, where we unpack all of that knowledge out of their head and create visual models. Once we've got that, then we can actually look at, well, what does this ecosystem of products look like? So that was a quick one today on our Tuesday talk, talking about how you need an ecosystem of products to engage with your audience and to deliver and scale your business. So thank you very much. Certainly open up if anyone's tuned in, wants to answer some questions. As per usual, if you're watching this on replay, drop your questions in the chat, whether it be on Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn. Please drop your questions on the chat there. Okay, and also just letting people know as well, if you're interested, we're running our own Nail Your Niche in 9 Days challenge. So this is one of our information products that we're running, starting November 29. So what's that? That's about 10, 11 days away. Certainly you can jump into there, bit.ly/nicheboot, and that'll give you an opportunity to jump in. And basically what we're doing through that is really looking at how we can actually target our market. This is obviously one of the key things, when we're looking at, when we want to create this ecosystem of products. Well, first thing we need to know is, what's the problem that we're solving? And we can't know the problem we're solving if we don't understand who our target market is. And if we can't understand our, target market, then we're not going to know the problems. So it's really a matter of being able to nail your niche, understand who that market is, understand the problems they have, understand the pains they're having, thinking about the prize that you can offer them, thinking about the personas of those people, so that what you're creating is going to be very targeted, and all of those products that you build in that ecosystem are going to be relevant to that target audience. So that's coming up in our 9-day challenge in November 29th. So thank you, everyone. Any questions, feel free, drop them in the chat, or drop them in the comments below. This is our Tuesday talk. Thank you very much.